Watching people stuck in the matrix is a lot like watching somebody in a horrible relationship. And it's quite like being in a horrible relationship. You know, you don't realize you're in it because you can't see. You're in it. Your judgment is too clouded and you're too close. Sometimes when you're too close to the problem, you're never going to be able to solve it. You need somebody on the outside to take a look in and see what's going on. So it's really interesting to me to watch people that are living inside of this totally make-believe world, and they don't even realize it. You know, that's the craziest thing. And I watch it every day. I see it all the time. It's interesting. And it's like, I'm not judging people because I was totally in it too. I didn't realize that, you know, every single thing around us is fake except for nature. You know, really. And we have been put in a system that allows us to play with all this fake stuff. But as soon as you be a bad boy or girl, or they start to take stuff away, and then you end up in their jail that they create for the people that don't want to follow the rules. But it's all just a fabricated system in which we have been placed. You know, American currency, that it doesn't mean anything. It's no longer backed by silver or gold. All it is debt-based. So, you know when you go to the pawn shop and you say, hey, listen, I want $100, but and what do they do? They say, okay, well, we need collateral. If you want our $100, because I'll give you $100, but I want collateral for that $100. So then what you do is you go, okay, well, I bought this camera recently, brand new. It's a $100 camera, and I'll give you the camera, a $200 camera. They ain't not giving you $100 worth of value. I'll tell you that on a $100 camera. Give you $5 for that. Bring them a nice $1,000 camera. They're probably going to pawn you $150, okay? Now, they are holding your camera as collateral. That's how American dollars work. The collateral is me and you, okay? That is why via birth certificate and Social Security, we are worth 1.5. We are the collateral because it's bond-based, okay? It's all about bonds and it's about debt, all right? Understand how currency works. Understand what it is. Most people have no clue what it is. They just have money. They just, if you understand what it is, it makes things make sense. You know, again, we've been put inside of this box, this little world, and I consider it's almost like, I like to think of it as a Disney World, you know, where Walt Disney created a world, and then within that world, when you go through the gates and you pay the admission fees, he has everything there for you, so you never need to leave. That's the world that we have been put in. Except it's not called Disney World, but the same type of people are the ones in charge. That's why Walt Disney was friends with them, you know? And he made a little world inside of the world. And honestly, in my opinion, it's to mock us. To mock us. Make movies, hide so much truth about nature in the world in these cartoon Disney movies, and then create basically a world within the United States in Disney that they don't pay taxes on. It's their own world. And like, why? Like, who is he? How come he can do that? Like, what are we talking about here? So I just find it funny. I mean, it's to mock us, in my opinion, I think. Disney World. Like, they're making a fun land. Fun little playland that you can pay a shitload of money to go visit inside of a world that's, you know, God created and God designed this beautiful world, and it's like just a mockery. It's a mockery, it really is, you know, and it's a brainwashing camp. Brainwashing camp, mockery of history. What are you gonna do? I love you all, and this is my opinion. If you want to see my work, I'm a writer. I write books about truth and about things, you know. I just wrote a book about ancient belief systems, where religion came from, because it comes from somewhere. It doesn't come from nowhere, all right? So, you know, these people had to write this stuff down, and back then there were no printing presses thousands of years ago. So people had to carry information through storytelling. That's how it works. That's how it worked. Everything's a story that's passed on. That's how things used to literally get passed from place to place. That's what the game telephone is about, you know? Think about it. They didn't have printing presses. How did they didn't have hundreds of thousands of copies of books all over the place. They just didn't. People learned differently back then. You know, even in school. But schools like a couple hundred years ago were, you know, what do you think you learned in the school? You learned your alphabet, you learned a couple of prayers from the Bible, and that's probably about it. And then you went home. They taught you to farm and live on the land and do things. But anyway, with thesun33.com, my podcast is coming out soon, and I'm on Telegram Uncensored with the Sun 33. I love you all, and this is my opinion.